Oh my gosh, you're here!
Welcome to My Chatbot Life, where chatbot marketers share high converting strategies in this new conversational marketplace. Each week, MKJ introduces you to bot builders who are just like you, a little techie, a little markety, and a whole lot of geeky. Buckle up as Chatbot Mom enjoys another journey into My Chatbot Life.
Hey there, bot buddies. All right, MKJ here, and you've probably seen this guy or heard this guy on this show before. We've talked to him when we talked to Hilton Davido. We've talked to him alone. This is probably your third time back to the show. Let me introduce to you again, if you haven't heard of him before, which if you're in the chatbot world and you don't know this guy, something's wrong. Don't you say anything. You just, because last time I said that, you said something else.
All right.
This is Pat Friedl. He is the founder of Local Marketing Pro and GHL Connect. Welcome back, Pat.
Thank you.
We are not going to go into your entire history, your entire, what you did since you were 5 or anything like that. But I do want to talk about from the perspective of coming into chatbots and messenger marketing. You've been doing that since the beginning, right? Like 2017?
Yeah, something like that. Gosh, now I can't even, wow, I feel nasty because I can't remember, or feel old because I can't remember that far back. So
well, let me just remind you of this. You were in ManyChat before there was a flow builder, right?
Yes. Yeah. When you just had no choice but to go linear little click. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yes, remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo, those were the days.
Those were the days, yes. So
I was in chatbots for quite a while. So
most of the young kids nowadays don't know what that looks like, and they're quite spoiled. So, all the changes that have happened since then. I mean, we've gone through 24-hour rule, the broadcasting changing, the getting your page listed as for what was it called? For subscription messaging, remember that?
Yeah, subscription messaging and OTNs and
all of it.
Page purging and 2 elections where they shut things down for like random madness with Facebook ads and all kinds of stuff. So
amazing. COVID, we haven't had to talk to that one too, and all the conspiracy.
Is there something going on? Some kind of pandemic or something?
Yeah, some virus thing.
Something happened somewhere.
Yeah, I haven't seen craziness about a virus since the HIV virus came out, and I was actually at UC Berkeley studying in the sciences with under the professor who finally identified that virus, and it was pretty crazy then talking about a virus, but I don't think it shut down the world.
No, it did not.
No, and I think it killed quite a few people,
1 or 2,
and continues to do so.
Right.
So, it did make a lot of people paranoid, though. People didn't want to touch other people, didn't want to breathe the same air. I mean, it was a pretty paranoid time, but it still, even with that paranoia, it didn't shut down the country.
No.
So, we'll get off that real quick, but it definitely says a lot about change. So tell me about, you talked about local, or I mentioned that you are the founder of Local Marketing Pro.
Mm-hmm.
How did Local Marketing Pro come into being after you had been in chatbots for a while? Because you started that when? Probably 2019?
Yeah, somewhere around there. So I started doing agency work, and we started working with real estate agents initially. And so when I first got into bots, I really gravitated towards Chatfuel because Chatfuel at the time had a lot more, programmability, or, had a lot more features as far as being able to reach out and do third-party, requests and pull data in and things like that. And so I really was working on Chatfuel and building out what we a bot we called Riva, which was real estate virtual assistant. And so we did a lot of that. We integrated Dialogflow, did all this crazy wild stuff, and then it all kind of boiled down to people just want to click buttons and not worry about super mega conversational stuff, because Dialogflow is all the rage, things like that. So we migrated from real estate agents into generally just like all kinds of agency, local marketing with retail and restaurants, spas. We did a lot of med spas, and actually Local Marketing Pro came out of that because we actually started doing bots for spas, because med spas, they're obviously their biggest audience are women, and women love to chat and they like to text, and of course the bots fit that demographic really, really well. And so we created a voucher bot, or a coupon bot, where people could come in and get a coupon for like discount Botox, and then click a booking link and then get reminders and all kinds of things. And so that was the first bot template that I made, was our voucher bot. And so then after that, I started thinking, hey, I could take all these other bots that I built and kind of gel them into a series of, kind of really structured templates that worked consistently for different niches. And so that's kind of where we came up with Local Marketing Pro. We ended up with, a coupon bot that had, 3 separate flows for, you could run a coupon a week. Then we had the voucher bot that was for, kind of like spas and cryotherapy and chiropractors, where you could schedule an appointment. And then we had the viral giveaway and the guest giveaway, and those were wildly popular, and they built,
Yes.
massive user lists and email and text lists as well for people that used them. And then we even had a loyalty program that we built, and we were one of the more robust loyalty programs that were out there in the market, and people were still using it, pumping, massive revenue for their clients with it.
Yes, absolutely.
Local Marketing Pro came from.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, so bot buddies listening out there, Pat is my go-to guy whenever I need anything technically done beyond my limited scope of my brain, and it is very limited, because I know he can take and look at a project and break it apart into its component parts and know exactly how everything is going to have to fit and talk to each other to make an incredible experience. So I know I've used your giveaway bots several times. I'm looking at another e-commerce store. So the loyalty or vouchers and things like that, obviously really high on the mark with those guys. And then Pat's also taken my webinar chatbot and just basically blown it apart. Yeah. And then put it back together beautifully. So through all those things, how many times have you had to iterate Local Marketing Pro templates for all the changes that Messenger makes?
At least 2 or 3 times per template, because, I came out with Local Marketing Pro templates, and then I guess it'd be almost 2 years now, probably closing on 3 now, that went to the ManyChat conference in Austin. And they had, they launched, email and SMS as part of their offering. And so I had to immediately go and update all the templates to handle SMS and email. And then, of course, now they've migrated growth tools, as far as, comment growth tools. And then every time you have any kind of change in ManyChat, you log in and there's always something new on the menu, or there's something moved somewhere, or some other tool works a different way now, like the growth tools work a little different now. So we're always updating to keep everything fresh, so that they continue to work for for users of the templates. So,
yeah. How many people, I don't know if this is the same for you, but I've known a lot of bot builders over the time that we've been in ManyChat and ChatFuel. And I went back through my friends list and my chat list recently and did a search for all the chat. And I'm talking probably at least 50% of the people I've been connected with that were in the chat world are no longer in the chat world.
Well, everybody kind of moves on, and things have changed, and things have been changed so radically, with the 24-hour rule and OTNs and all that other stuff. I mean, I have a client now that I work with who's in the pet industry, and so that's very competitive, and they've had pages shut down regularly because their competitors are seeing their ads and blocking the pages. Yeah. And then also, Facebook is throwing these false positives on their pages as well, so they're getting things unpublished and republished, and campaigns are being turned off, and it's a constant battle. And I think it just wears people down. And people are. It's not an easy button anymore. You can't just call up a company, and go, hey, chatbot, and they just write a check. You have to stay in it and keep working.
Yeah, that's it. So you and I have done that. I mean, we adapt.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I moved out of chatbots for a little bit because I was, got out of agency. I still running Local Marketing Pro, still doing development and back end work and things like that. But so I'm still trying to teach myself how to lose money spectacularly with Bitcoin and stocks. And, I'm doing development there, but I'm swerving back into bots and agency work pretty heavily now because, I've kind of come full circle back to agencies. I would just like helping businesses.
Yeah. And it's okay. I mean, you went away, but you never went away and left and said, that's it, I'm not doing this anymore, and went and did something totally different and said goodbye and washed your hands of it. I mean,
no, I've always been kind of dabbling.
Yeah. You are a solutions guy. You want to solve a problem. You want to figure out, you look at a situation and you're like, this can be done better.
Right.
And I know how to do it better. So let's do it better. And that basically that takes a personality that has to look for new ways to do things. So when things change, you just basically build a road around it, right? And try and figure out a different way to do.
Generally, there's always a good workaround. We use bots a lot for affiliate and CPA marketing. That CPA is cash per action marketing, so not accountant marketing. It's
right.
affiliate and CPA stuff. So we worked in the subprime markets, for credit repair and rent to own type stuff, and Facebook was constantly beating us down, blocking pages and things like that. So we had lots and lots of workarounds that we did with bots and things like that, and lots of a little bit of gray hat, a little bit of black hat stuff, but you got to keep business going, right? So
got to do what you got to do.
There's always a workaround some way,
right,
to get things to work.
What made you come up with GHL Connect? First off, tell everybody what that is and what it does, and why did you do it? Why did you create it?
So GHL Connect. So if for people who don't know, there is an agency CRM and marketing automation platform called High Level, and so they're at gohighlevel.com. They are the premier CRM. I mean, I know that ManyChat has an integration to HubSpot, but HubSpot, if you're doing anything at scale or you're going to be doing anything with multiple clients, it gets stupidly expensive very, very quickly. And so High Level is amazingly affordable, especially if you're doing any kind of agency work. I mean, you get, for a low monthly price, you can get unlimited, what they call locations. So you can have, all these clients on these locations. You can rubber stamp these locations. So if you have a particular niche, you can create what's called snapshot, and you can just do massive amounts of scaling and work for your clients with High Level. And it does SMS and email and voicemail drops and campaigns, and it's extremely versatile, and it beats the crap out of Google Sheets. And I know that a lot of bot builders use they just pump leads into Google Sheets, and they make fancy dashboards with Google Sheets. I've done the fancy dashboards with Google Sheets.
Yeah.
Before High Level was really something, and so. Right. Agencies have been migrating into High Level, and it's been picking up speed in the last months because they're always updating things, like just constantly building new features all the time. They're just now testing payments inside SMS, so you can somebody can type in a keyword and get a payment link and donate or pay for something via text. I mean, that's how cool their features are that they're adding. So there have been a lot of people that are using chatbots and Go High Level, and the only way to get data in from ManyChat to Go High Level was to use a lot of zaps. So if you're using Zapier, it takes a lot of work. It's expensive. You got to set all that junk up, or you have to program against High Level's big API, and there's a lot of code that's involved there that you have to do. So if you're not willing to do all the code, or you don't want to pay for a whole bunch of zaps, then you're kind of stuck with, what do I do with my ManyChat users? How do I get them into High Level? And so there were people who were asking questions, how do I do this? And I looked into it and I started building a solution for it. And it took me about a week and I built GHL Connect. And what that is, it is a ManyChat app that plugs into ManyChat and it does all the heavy lifting to pump data from ManyChat into high level and then high level back into ManyChat. So they can talk together. And so it gives you a very cohesive marketing system because ManyChat is really good for marketing and very inexpensive as far as messaging goes. And then high level takes over all the big work like, call tracking and assigning, customer support people to a lead and moving them through pipelines and all that, everything that you could possibly need to do with a lead to nurture that lead and all that, and then track your redemptions and track spend and ROI and all that stuff inside high level. So it's a marriage of the two systems, and that's basically what GHL Connect does.
Yeah. And it's basically, again, you saw that people were switching from a platform like, say, ClickFunnels or from maybe not from ActiveCampaign, but from ClickFunnels and HubSpot, and using this cool new tool. It's not that new. It's been around a while, hasn't it?
It's been around a few years, but it was like initially it was kind of like the very early days of ManyChat where it couldn't do much.
Yeah.
And then now it's just a monster.
Right. Right. And so you saw that that's where people were headed. And a lot of people were saying, how do I get my data? Help me with a Zap. How do I figure out this Zap? And, kind of like I did the other day, knocking on your door digitally or virtually going, help, help. There's some Zapier stuff I got to do and I have no clue how to do it. Those kinds of things. And instead of working around with Zapier, you looked at the two APIs and went, hey, I think I can fix something here.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, ManyChat has their ManyChat apps, and they don't really promote them that much. I'm kind of surprised, but if you go into the ManyChat menu and you go to settings, and then a little farther down it says apps, and they have an app store. It's kind of like the Apple App Store or the Android App Store. You go in there and you can install some really cool apps, and there are several developers in there that built some really good stuff in there that you can install into ManyChat. And what it does is it basically does all these complex things with little flow builder actions. And so if you can go into flow builder and you can create an action like inserting a row into a Google Sheet or something like that, that you can very easily pull up GHL Connect and add a user into high level, or create an opportunity, or remove a tag, add them to campaigns. I mean, it does more actions. GHL Connect actually has more actions available in ManyChat than Zapier has with the Go High Level app.
Yes, so, definitely.
Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And that basically, again, came up with, or it was created because of all the changes that are happening in all the technologies. And especially with ManyChat, we are, and not just ManyChat, but Messenger with Facebook, we're constantly looking to get people off of the Messenger platform, out of our chatbots and into another place where we can control them, whether Facebook is schizophrenic or not.
And that's the big deal, because with the 24-hour rule, if you want to contact them outside the 24-hour rule, you've got 4 tags that you can use. So it's customer support and event update for webinars and appointments, which is I imagine people abuse that as well. But you have very limited ways to connect with people, and I've seen that even using the OTN notifications can get your page thrown for a false positive for spamming, and you'll get your page unpublished or locked out because Facebook didn't know what it was doing. So, and the thing is if you are using ManyChat for a CRM, all your users and their email and their text messages are locked into ManyChat. So if your page gets unpublished or anything else, you can't contact those people, or you're stuck using ManyChat's texting and email. And while that's good for a very, very small business, or if you're just starting out, you can't pick your phone number, and you're stuck using their email builder, and you can't really respond to people. Whereas if you can pump that data out into a system that is built for text and email, like High Level, where the texting and emailing is far cheaper and far more deliverable, and far more configurable, then you can you can continue talking to your clients. So if you lose your Facebook page, you didn't lose your contacts, and you can keep pushing them with nurturing and get appointments and leads and conversions and sales. And that's the ultimate goal, is to control your data and make money.
And yes, exactly. And control the customer experience. I mean, you can do with high level, you can have much more intricate sequences of messages.
Oh, right. You can, with high level, with texting, and people respond with a certain keyword, you can, it's a lot like the ManyChat texting and emailing, but it's way more configurable, because I can have trigger links. So if somebody clicks something, I can add them to a campaign, and then I can remove them from this one, and then I can, trigger a voicemail drop, for the next day, and things, all kinds of things like that, and move them through the pipeline and assign an ROI to that person.
Right.
And,
and you can build funnels, and you can have, landing pages.
So, that's the thing, is high level doesn't just do texting and email. I mean, it replaces MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, ClickFunnels, WordPress. I mean, and everything as well. And the cool thing is, for people who do coaching and courses, they have an entire membership platform as well, so that you can get your customers in there, and they can sign up and take your classes and your courses. And what better way to do that than to drive people in with a launch bot like you have, and then pump those leads into high level, and then move them in through your funnel so they can sign up and start taking your course. And you can teach people and
and have it all in one place. And this can be low ticket or high ticket, doesn't matter. If you're going to do an appointment, a sales appointment, you can track all of that. You can create the calendar appointment. You can do all of those things, reminders, everything, all in one place.
Right. Yep.
Yes. It's really incredible. The only thing it really doesn't have as much as, say, ManyChat does, it definitely has a chat platform, but it's nowhere near as robust.
You can have them both connected, and actually for testing, I did do that. So what'll happen is that the high level app will connect to your Facebook account and watch your inbox. So if ManyChat can't handle something, you haven't built in a keyword, or the default message doesn't handle whatever somebody messages, you can still have that inbox and message them from inside high level, which includes, with high level, it actually has an app that you load on your phone, so you can get all of your messaging, your text, email, and messages, and your Google My Business messages, all that stuff in one spot. So it's extremely, extremely powerful that way.
Wow. So here's the deal, guys. We do have a link if you're interested. I mean, it sounds like you're an agency and your clients are using high level, and you want to connect ManyChat and high level. I've got a deal for you. If you go to messengerfunnels.com and you go to the My Chatbot Life section, you'll see my conversation here with Pat, and you'll be able to see in the description of that post. We will have a link for you that gives you 30% off if you sign up through hearing right here on this podcast. And I'll tell you, there's a reason. If you go through the history of My Chatbot Life and you go on to Messenger Funnels and you see all the different episodes, you'll see Pat on there a couple of times. And there's a reason for that, is because I follow what he does, and I collaborate with him as much as I possibly can, because I always want to have people around me that are smarter than me. And he is absolutely smarter than me. We agreed the other day.
Some people, right?
Yeah. So we agreed the other day that he says to me, you build good bots, but I build gooder bots. And he does. He absolutely does. And so having him on my side really makes me feel a lot more secure in the fact that I know my stuff's going to work, and I know it's going to get the results that I want it to get. And especially now that I'm bringing some of my clients over to high level and doing some really crazy things.
And I think here's one thing we didn't cover, is that coming up, we were talking about changes, like new changes coming. ManyChat is going to be having, and this is a big, huge deal, especially if you're an agency and you are working with coaches and restaurants, things, the people that are doing Instagram, is ManyChat is going to be dropping their Instagram integration. And you will be able to take your Instagram leads and push them into high level and nurture them there. So Instagram is a great platform, not that great for communication, but with the ManyChat automation added, you'll be able to take all of those leads. And I know I've worked with some people that were like had 10,000, 15,000 followers on Instagram, and it blew their mind that they could take those people and pump them into high level and start nurturing them even more. So if you haven't done, started looking at that, this is going to be a big deal. So if
Huge.
yeah, if you can integrate ManyChat, your messenger marketing, you can be a bot designer, builder, etc. But you can also build out this backend for your clients. You are going to be indispensable, and you're going to be more unique, and you're going to have a more unique selling point than 90% of the people who are doing bots out there.
That's right.
Don't be that person that still pushes leads into Google Sheets.
Yeah, please. I'll tell you. Yeah, because I mean, even I'm bringing some of my clients into high level, really only for the dashboard, right? So I can see, so I can take their ManyChat data, and I can specifically show them the exact performance of the bots that we build, because it's got a beautiful dashboard.
Right.
So, if nothing else, why would I use Google Sheets for that? When I can have
somebody from a Google Sheet.
Yeah. When I can have a high level account, and show this beautiful dashboard that I didn't have to go hire someone to build or spend hours and hours figuring out each of the stupid cells and color coding it and all those kinds of things. And it's integrated automatically. Whereas, yes, Google Sheets is, but it's not always as reliable. And sometimes if it's more complicated, you got to use his app and blah, blah, blah. Whereas with GHL Connect, it's seamless. It's immediately transferring data in. And I mean, I've seen it in real time. It's crazy.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can go, here's the deal. So Instagram, you were talking about Instagram. You can have someone on Instagram, your influencer or your client, basically puts a post or does a story or does a live, and they basically say, hey, drop the word sales, DM me the word sales, and I'll DM you back.
Yep.
With this blah, 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 with this, tool that I'm going to give you. Well, that's all they have to do is go to the account, DM that word, and automatically ManyChat will spit back and start the conversation back with them and give them the thing that they promised. So once that happens, because ManyChat is then attached through GHL Connect to high level, now that person came into ManyChat, became a subscriber, and now they are a lead in high level. And when in the world could you have gotten a lead from a DM?
Right. You can now.
You can now. You're going to be able to. Not only that, you're going to be able to, with the mention of a story. So when you have a story and someone mentions your story, that can also trigger a ManyChat flow. So there's lots of things coming, just like your comment tool in Facebook. When you have on your Facebook page, you have a post and you attach the comment tool to it and someone comments, then ManyChat kicks in. It's a very similar situation. You also need to be aware that when those people come in from Instagram, they add to your ManyChat subscriber count. So your subscriber count will go up accordingly. Which still is a very inexpensive way to gather leads. Very inexpensive. Yeah. So I think Pat has pretty much talked about how change is. All you got to do is adapt. How have you gotten yourself motivated each time Facebook decides to be a bit schizophrenic and change things, to be able to come back and try and do a workaround? I mean, what makes you want to keep doing that with all the changes?
Because I want to win. I want to beat Facebook. Screw Mark Zuckerberg. Sorry, can I say that? Yeah. So
yes.
And yeah, so I when Facebook comes up with these changes, it's always it's never something that's great, or you don't think like, oh man, I'm so glad Facebook did that one. And so there's always a change to a rule. Sometimes they roll it back when there's enough backlash, that sort of thing. But more often than not, it's always something to keep restricting what we can do, because I understand that some marketers abuse the system, and that's why they put the rules in place and that sort of thing. But at the same time, it does more damage than good most of the time. And so it's always a constant fight of, what can we do to get the workaround? And when you find that workaround, it's a nice little win, and you just, kind of pat yourself on the back, like, sweet, now,
Yeah.
now
It's
get
almost
back
like
to work. So,
it's almost like a challenge, right? You're like, okay, Mark, bring it on. Let me see what I can do.
yeah. Hopefully Facebook's not listening right now.
Yeah, I really don't think they'd pay attention to little old me and little old you.
I mean, I hope not.
I hope not.
Yeah.
All right, dear. Well, I so appreciate you sharing this time with me. I so appreciate you sharing the not only the local marketing pro, because last time we talked on the show, we talked about that.
Mhm.
And was what
That's getting the GHL Connect upgrade as well. So we're going to be having, now that I've got the app built, we're actually going to be doing Local Marketing Pro Elite, where we will be migrating all of the bots, beefing them up with all the latest, and integrating them 100% with high level, with the matching snapshot for all of the marketing follow-up that you could possibly choke down.
Yeah.
All the emails, the SMS, the review requests, the funnels, everything built into one big package, so that people can get that and just go out and crush it for their clients. But that's all thanks to GHL Connect. Now I can get now that makes it possible.
Yeah. And so here's the deal. Everybody listening, there's a couple of things. I also have a unique link for you to go into Local Marketing Pro if you're working with local businesses. And the thing that Pat and I are working on together is that launch bot you mentioned. So I did a webinar chatbot flow in ManyChat that just has crushed it with revenue and show up rates, and people continuing to watch the webinar all the way through to get to the actual pitch. And then obviously that increases conversions on the webinar itself. So I've built that. And then Pat, like I said, took it and blew it up and put it back together. And now we're also going to take that and connect it with High Level and have that snapshot ready. So all those things are in the works. I would absolutely keep an eye on this space and go to this page to get all the goodies, because as those things happen, I will come back to this post and update everything that we're doing. So if you're interested, again, messengerfunnels.com, my chatbot life link, and look at this particular episode with Pat and myself, and you'll have all the goodies that you could ever want to make money on ManyChat and use High Level for really your unique representation of your agency for your client. Because I'm telling you, there's nothing else unless you're going to go hire someone custom to do something for you. It's right there. It's done. And this is what we're in here for, automating as much as we can to help our customers solve problems and make more money. Period. Sure. That's it.
That's it.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glad you were able to jump on here and we could introduce people to this new stuff. So we'll keep on a-changing, keep on a-growing, and I'll see you.
All right.
See you on Facebook.
Thanks for listening to the My Chatbot Life podcast. To watch this video chat, visit mychatbotlife.com and get all the rocket boosters you need for your own chatbot success.